Welcome to the Introverted Influencer Podcast. I'm your host, Erica Van Slyke. My soul's mission on this planet is to help fellow introverts grow their online influence in a state of feminine flow and ease. While battling the woes of depression, anxiety, and even mom guilt, I've somehow managed to build a six-figure blog without the use of social media and without sacrificing my mental health. If I can do it, you can fucking too. Hello, you badass. Welcome back to episode 36 of the Introverted Influencer Podcast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me for a little bit. So this week, it is getting real. The pressure is on because I am giving my first speech in public since I had a panic attack back in college, y'all. That was like 15 years ago, 16 years. Yeah, so I haven't given a public speech since that day that I had a full-blown panic attack in college. And I have days where I do my speech, I practice, and I feel so calm and so aligned with what I'm doing. And then these moments of self-doubt pop up, and that is what I'm kind of working through right now. But what I keep holding on to is just how good it's going to feel when I'm done. And I know that I took the messy action I needed to take to get further into exploring my purpose and my desire to serve women on a deeper level, because that's what I set out to do at the beginning of 2022. I love my blog, my interior design DIY blog, Designing Vibes. Love it. It has provided so much joy and fulfillment for me. But there has been a tugging for about 2 years now that I really wanted to help women on a much deeper level than just the surface tutorials and content. And I don't know how it's going to go Saturday. I could have another panic attack, but at least I'm not going to feel the heaviness of knowing I'm being a chicken and I'm not at least trying. So I am looking forward to that moment where I either have clarity or I've gained confidence, and I can at least pat myself on the back for giving it my best shot. And so today's topic is going to be somewhat of an extracted message from my speech. My speech is like an hour long, but today I kind of wanted to hit on what I've sort of added into the speech. And that's basically this idea that so much of finding clarity around what we want in life and who we are and what our soul-aligned purpose truly is, so much of that self-development and spiritual work, at the end of the day, is just unlearning all of the societal bullshit, or the bullshit that our friends and our peers or the media or family members or caretakers ingrained in us, or maybe just projected onto us. And maybe it was well-meaning. It probably was if it was from your family. But so much of it is just unlearning all of that and really owning who you are and what you want. Because I believe that we already have all the answers when we are born onto this planet. as innocent little babies. I think we are already perfectly whole and aligned and authentic. In some way, our soul knows, well, it does, what we've incarnated here to be and do and have. But then as we grow up and we get put into the educational system and into society at large, we're taught so many lies about ourselves and about basically what it is to be human. We're taught that success and happiness looks one way for everyone, that we should all just want the same things from life, that abundance means the same to everyone. Before we develop an ego, as children, it's only natural for us to be who we are and own who we are and what we want and show up in that authentic way. And that's what is so special about children and watching children. And sometimes it's hilarious to watch how children show up and how honest they are, because they haven't yet been taught shame or even what embarrassment is. And they just own it. When I reflect back to my inner child, when I do my hypnosis work and my meditations, it's one of my favorite modalities for manifestation and just self-development in general. When I go back to that little girl, before she was taught embarrassment, before she experienced disappointment or heartache or trauma, I think about how that little girl just knew she was going to be someone. And she loved to be seen, and she loved to express herself and be on stage in whatever capacity. She was a performer. But then, as she grew up, she was taught nobody likes to show off. Who are you to do that? You're not that special. And so, as she internalized the shame over that aspect of herself, a little bit of her started to die, especially in her 20s, when she just tried to fit in like everyone else. And she put the aspect of wanting to be seen into her shadow as show off. She also loved to be creative in her free time. Dance, poetry, music, you name it. But then was taught in her high school years, in college years, that, you got to pick a major and you want a major that's going to provide financial stability. And so you can either do something creative and be happy but not make money, or you can do something really practical and boring and just suck it up, but at least you'll be supported financially. And so in my 20s, I lost touch with that creative side, and I became a zombie, a 9-to-5 marketing consulting zombie, and then wondered why I dealt with such horrible depression and why I felt so broken and like something was wrong with me. When I really get in touch with how I want my day to go, that is with ease. That is easing into my day, not rushing, certainly not working 9 to 5. But society would have me believe that that is laziness, that I am not driven, I am a slacker, and therefore not worthy to receive success or financial abundance, right? And so lazy was placed into my shadow. But I want to tell you, whatever your shadow is, whether it be you're loud, you're too much, you're maybe lazy, there's a lot of power in that, because in that shadow is a lot of our true selves and our true desires and how we truly need to show up in this world. And thank God I did the work to really integrate those shadows, to take a look at them, acknowledge them, and then see how to reframe them into more of a positive aspect, or what that shadow word is really telling me I need, instead of just shaming it and neglecting it. And so instead of seeing myself as lazy, I could see that I just wanted ease in my day, ease and flow. And thank God I embodied that finally, instead of shunning it, because I've built a business on 80% passive income, money in my sleep. But if I never embodied that, I would never be able to receive that. For many years, I let the word superficial bog me down, because I love beauty, because I love fashion and home decor and just making everything around me beautiful. But for a minute, I let that mean I was superficial. But when I integrated that, I saw that no, my soul just loves beautiful surroundings. That's why my soul, partially why my soul incarnated. And then that allowed me to tap into more of my gifts as a designer and an influencer. What I am partially still working through, I think why I've got so much anxiety over getting on this stage and speaking, is that show off, know-it-all shadow aspect of myself. The who do you think you are? And so that's what I'm really working through right now, because I've got to embody being seen on a greater level if I want to have a greater impact. And if you want to have a greater impact, you're going to have to do the same thing. You can't worry about how others will receive it or receive you. That is all for them to work through, because your mission is way too important to worry about that. It is high time you stop valuing the opinions of others and societal norms over the needs of your own soul. Because the longer you do that, the longer you deny your soul and your true, authentic needs, the longer you delay your happiness, the longer it will take to find your true clique and your true social scene, the longer it will take to find your true purpose and mission and life's work. It's time you strip away those layers. Strip away all of that societal programming junk and get back in touch with who you really are and what really lights you up and what you really need, and own it. Take the shame out of it. Are there ways that you can put a positive spin on these attributes that you've been shamed for since you were a child? And reframe it, own it, and then reintegrate it back into who you are. That is what I urge you to take a look at. There's just, like I said, so much power there. And I think next week I'll actually work on getting a meditation up so that you can have a little more guidance on how this works, how you can strip away the layers and get back in touch with your authentic self. So, wish me luck, y'all. I need all the luck I can get Saturday. And I know it's going to feel good after I'm done, regardless what happens. So I'm going to put the link in the show notes. I think there's like a few seats left. So if you're in the Chattanooga area, then you should get a ticket and see me. And I want to meet you and give you a hug and chat about anything you want to talk about. So thank you so much for tuning in again. And I'm going to get off here and center myself and practice some more. So I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for stopping by this week. I make no money from this show. Actually, it costs me money to produce and host. So the best way you can show your support for this passion project of mine is by leaving the show a 5-star written review on Apple. Also, if you would like to contribute monetarily to the show, you can leave a tip in my digital tip jar, which I have the link in the show notes. You can always share it with a friend who you think could benefit from the message, or even better, you can take a screenshot of this episode, upload it to your Insta stories, and tag me in it at Designing Vibes. Sending you